Hello again and welcome back to Broforce Broviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at Burt Brommer, based off of Burt Gummer from the Tremors series. So, one fun fact is that Burt Brommer is in game files referred to as Bro Gummer, if you're looking for him during custom missions. But, as you can see, like with Tremors, Bert is carrying the biggest gun he could find. This looks like a 50 BMG. However, I believe it's actually his Beretta from the TV series. In the second and third movies, he had a Grizzly. But a Grizzly doesn't have that type of muzzle brake, which is why I believe this might be his Beretta. Either way, his attack is so strong, it literally throws him back. However, you'll notice as a long range, or as an attack, it is one of the longest range primary attacks we have, putting it well and above the normal range. And we're just starting to have fun with this. When you get up close, you can sometimes shoot through single thick blocks. And by using his special, you enter this sniper mode, very similar to Robocop. And this shot will actually penetrate walls. You can also kind of activate it midair and then use it as you're falling. Or, if you wish, you could activate it and then kind of give a little bit more movement. But let's just go ahead and move on. Oh, I shouldn't forget. Bert's main attack is a red stick. I'm sure most of you at home know what a red stick means, but I'm going to save that surprise till we get to closer to the end of the review. Now, like most bros, when you are on top of a mecha unit, the best way to take it out is to, well, take it over and then either dump it or use it. So commandeer and kick its rear. That being said, Bert actually does need to be a little bit more careful than the average bro, as the pushback of his attack can actually throw him off of the mech. That being said, he is capable of destroying the mook within a mech within 2 shots. I know it looked like I took 3, but that's because one of my shots was off center, and so it wasn't actually hitting the mech. As for the upcoming mook door, you'll notice that Bert shoots true both when standing and when crouched. He also doesn't really seem to suffer less knockback when he is crouched, so outside of cramped spaces, there's really no need to crouch. But as he has a nice amount of power and penetration, a single shot is enough to take out most mook doors. As we move on to dogs, he is able to shoot hard enough and fast enough that he's able to supify them. Against larger dogs, it is definitely more dangerous, but you do still outspeed them, assuming you can get the first shot off. Against heavies, and like minigunners, 2 shots and they are gone. So, against primevals, I'm actually going to attempt to try to keep a primeval or 2 alive, but as we get down here, you'll notice we can kill almost all, and potentially all of them if with some proper placement, with a single hit. That being said, let's move on to our demonstration. For our special ability, we obviously have the straight shot, but we can also take our shot and aim it. So, I'm going to go ahead and come up to these mecha units I have up here for a demonstration. So, as you can see, you can move your bullet around. However, at a certain range, the bullet will run out of gas and will no longer be able to continue on to hit a final target. Another thing you might want to consider is, while I am attacking, I am being thrown backwards. Even though this is a special ability, I'm still being thrown back, just like as if it was a melee attack. Another thing to note is that without aiming, you are actually able to do as much, if not more, damage than if you didn't aim. As you saw, the other two mechs were hit multiple times by an aimed shot, where this one was shot, I believe, twice by an unaimed. So 3 shots versus 2. That being said, let's go ahead and continue onwards. We've already seen the devastating power, so just another demonstration. A single shot will take out most. Now, shields can pose a risk. However, at closer range, you're able to kind of get behind them and start the projectiles forming behind the shield, causing it to effectively be behind the shield and kill the person anyway. Against small groups, you don't really need to fear. You just need to make sure you get all of them. And here's where our friend the red stick comes in. So, Bert's melee attack is a stick of dynamite. He is able to place a stick of dynamite on the ground, or on the wall in front of him, or on enemies that he melees. He can also place it on enemies he throws, and corpses he throws. That being said, he is not able to stick it above or below him, so he doesn't have quite the same maneuverability as, say, Brodiver. But, either way, you will note that Bert shoots true every time he shoots. So you're never going to get attacks up or down. But, because of that, with the dynamite stick, you are actually able to dig downwards a little bit. He also has a very long range, allowing you to dig tunnels from across the screen. And, through the use of his special, you are able to dig out tunnels that would not normally, or dig out tunnels quickly and accurately, as well as killing anybody who may or may not be inside of them. With his dynamite stick, he is able to dig downwards, which, as I've already stated, does give him a lot of digging power that just a lot of bros don't have. So all in all, my ratings for Bert are that he is an S-ranked combatant. His attacks are fast, long-ranged, and do a ton of damage. His digging abilities, I'm putting at about an A+. His ability to go down is not as good as some others, but most bros just straight up cannot go down. His mobility, however, is his biggest flaw. There are plenty of times where you might need to be stuck on a wall, and the fact that his attack can straight up cause you to let go or be thrown backwards is a massive risk. Not to mention if you're standing on an edge, and if you enter in, say, sniping mode and you grab somebody a bunch of times, the fact that you can be thrown off while your bullet is still traveling is terrifying. Just to kind of give like a little bit of a example of that, like if I'd been thrown backwards into the line of fire, I would have been unable to really do much. And it definitely runs into a weird place where you are attempting to like, act on one side of your screen when you can't see what's going on because you were forced to be thrown. So because of that, I'm giving Bert's mobility a C. It's not the worst. His mobility is very average, but that knockback is ungodly and very dangerous. However, that being said, his special is amazing. The ability to snipe and home, the fact that you can do bonus damage by not actually aiming, gives it a little bit of a rapid fire ability as well as a it gives it a bit of a rapid fire feel as well as a aimed fire feel, so it has that utility of that sniper attack, but also boom, boom, boom that you might need for a boss. Anyway, all in all, I'm going to say Burt Gummer is a solid A with the potential to go to an A+ against specific enemies, such as the alien brain or the final Satan. Enemies that being able to aim can be life or death, but you also might just need to clear out a zone. Anyway, I hope this helped you learn how to play Bert Bromer, and have fun.